In 2009, after 5 exciting years of developing arts and creativity at the Central Mall, CSA's numerous students and classes needed more space to continue growing their potential, which brings us to our current home at 305 South Adams Street, or as it is affectionately known, the 305.
Anytime someone comes into the Adams Street building who has never been to CSA before, there's usually a, this is downtown in Marion.
It just broadened our opportunities, made more spectacular our presence, a bigger, better building. Although it was scary, I think we had 6 weeks in which to do it. In August and September, when classes were starting, that was pretty scary, pretty involved. Mark handled it wonderfully. Yeah, it was a good move.
It was a busy time for the board. It really was. We're involved in so many things, with having a building, with plans to how are we going to pay for it. You know, there were a lot of challenges involved. I would say pretty much most of the time I was on the board, it was challenging. It was challenging, and you just hoped you were doing the right things for the right reasons, but I think we were in the long run.
For a very short while we were just parents, and then we got in some of the shows, so we were in some of the huge productions, and we really loved that because we got to know people on a very different level than dropping kids off and picking them up.
I love getting on stage and doing stuff, even though, terrified me to death. I mean, she's the actress, and I was just always kind of behind the scenes, but remember one show, the Technicolor coat one, where Mark says, okay, I need you to be the mayor. Okay, I can do that. And I need you to sing this song. Okay. And then I was Obi-Wan, and we had a sword fight with Darth Vader, and I died, and I've died several times in our place. Maybe it's because I'm the old guy, I get to die, I don't know.
I love the big productions as well. There are a couple of moments standing, especially the finale songs, when everyone's on stage. It's the little kids up front. I can't see my little one because there's so many people, and my husband's way over there, and my daughter's way over there, and yet we're all together and singing Christmas songs, and I really have enjoyed that.
One of the things that CSA did when I first came on as an intern and then as a teacher was that we wrote all of the shows, which is something they had been doing before I came on board, but I didn't have any experience in that. And I'd taken directing and management and that sort of thing in college, but I'd never taken writing for the stage. So I remember sitting in the front office, and it was me and Shelley and Mark and Allison Wright, and we were sitting there, and I think Mark just looked at me and was like, so you want to write a scene for the show? And I was like, sure. What? I don't know what I'm doing. And I think they started out like almost like outlines where I just filled in a lot of names, and then I filled in lines. It was like filling in the blanks. But it was such a fascinating experience and totally unique. It really kind of opened up my mind to what even my own capabilities were as a performer, and it was cool to see that with the kids too, because they were involved in the writing process to the point we had a writing class, and then I became the teacher of that writing class eventually over time. So I mean, it seems amazing from that moment in the office to go from like sure to then helping lead the writing on some of those shows. It was an amazing experience, and I know the kids really enjoyed having ownership in what they were creating on stage.
One of the greatest parts of those years were watching students come together as a team and create a show that had never existed before. That was Mark's passion. It is Mark's passion. It's what he does in his own life, and he was able to provide that experience to students who'd never had it before. All the shows that we did during those years were totally new. There was bits and pieces that were inspired by things that were already out there, but Mark allowed those students to create everything from what they thought and what they felt and what they saw in their minds. And I think he instilled that idea that, you know, it doesn't have to be something you do in front of the camera. It doesn't have to be something that you do as a performer. There are many things you can offer to this creative world, being a writer, being an idea person, being a visionary. And I think that was really a truly special time in the history of the school.
In 2012, CSA grew once again when the faculty from Dancer's Edge Studio became a part of the CSA family, bringing nationally recognized teachers and choreographers and forming CSA's Dancer's Edge company.
My name is BRANDY REVENAUGH, and I have been here involved at CSA for 5 years. I opened Dancer's Edge in the fall of 2002, and it was very small. I think I had maybe 50 students our first year. It spiraled into this, I feel like it's this magnet that attracts people from all over the country now. What we have is really special, and it doesn't exist really anywhere else that I have found. The relationship between CSA and Dancer's Edge has fostered this community of dance that like I said, I haven't been able to find anywhere else, and we are attracting people from outside the state of Indiana to then come be a part of it.
I feel very strongly about what Dancer's Edge does and the quality that they bring, and it was just a perfect blend for them to join Community School of the Arts, and I believe at that point I learned a lot more of what Community School of the Arts has to offer.
I'm gonna give credit, the biggest credit, I guess, is to my teacher, Brooke Napier. I think she deserves 100% of my gratitude for her dedication to the kids, for her passion. She herself is a brilliant choreographer, that she is training them to be better dancers and improving their technique while making that particular dance look good. I think she is a huge part of our success. There's so much more that we're teaching them than dance. They're learning how to be really great adults one day. They're learning how to take a respect for class, how to respect a teacher, how to learn quickly, how to take a correction, how to take disappointment, how to take discipline. All of those things are part of growing up, and we're getting to teach them those things and teach dance. And without those things, we grew up to be not nice people. So I feel like as much as we're raising dancers, we're raising really great humans.
I think it's just so fitting. Yeah, you know, you talked about when we started out, and we started out in a wonderful place for a brand new organization with free space offered by a church. Marla kept the phone at her house. I love that. It's fitting. It's fitting and proper that it grew because it's essential, because it's important, and there were lots of creative minds that fed it. It's a wonderful community space. It's a great place to be involved.
I certainly have learned and grown a lot being around these people. I love the positive attitudes that they have, even in sometimes difficult situations, and that helps me. That helps us all grow. Being in a positive environment that's supportive and allows kids to try new things, and there's not judgment of, well, you screwed that up or whatever. It's like, how do we make that better, and how do we work hard, and those are the things we want our kids to learn, and those are the things that make good people, good adults, and this is a great environment to be able to do that.
CARLA was the president of the board when we moved into the 305 South Adams location, and I just remember she would come to every single staff meeting. Like every Monday she was there, and I really don't know if any other board presidents at ever come to staff meetings, and she didn't come to preside over it or to micromanage it. She just came to be a supportive aspect of it. She felt like it was important for her to be there supportively, and just to know if there was anything she could do. And so I look back on those days, where there was a lot happening and a lot of decisions making, and her just always being around and willing to help. And she's still here today, still working her heart out for us, and always willing to do anything you ask of her.
Yes, I was involved on the board. I also took a short stint as director. I've involved my grandkids as students. Maybe I even taught a Girl Scout class. Worked on the go-kart committee. Just hung around, actually. Not very much, just hung around. I love the arts. I like the performing arts. I'm so excited that kids get to participate in the performing arts. It's a great organization with wonderful people.
Carla Tucker and I go way back for me to before my CSA days, when I was doing theater at the Civic Theater in Marion as a kid. And I remember doing The Sound of Music with John Butcher, and Carla was the costume lady, and I'd never met anyone like her before, and she was just a hoot. Any chance that I've had to work with Carla since then has just been so much fun.
She has served as executive director because they needed one. She has served as chairman of fundraising committees, fundraiser committees. She has served just in about every capacity you can, every role on the board. She's served a series of terms on the board and then took some time off and served again. Still consistently, always here, always the first to organize ushers, always the first to pick up and do anything, as Shelley said.
Yeah, I think it really is something that she has really saw it come from its infancy to its adulthood that we're at now. I mean, she's the only one I think that can truly say that in the organization.
Whatever project she takes on, she's not going to drop the ball on it, and that she's going to do her absolute best and work her hardest. So she's an inspiring lady. I hope throughout my career in the arts that I can have that kind of impact and reputation for being someone who gets things done. And I think she's a great example to all of us in the arts on many levels, and how to to push through and succeed.